See, this guy is talking cool. Enjo. You know, I'm not a Gen Z, but Kini, what does that mean? King of Benusi Mike.
Come close, you're about to go live.
Really? You're sure it's not a code for something?
No, I don't speak connotatively.
This is Sports Zone on Lagos Talks 91.3.
So, JJ, just go ahead. Please tell us, what exactly did you say in that interview and what exactly is going on?
Thank you for having me this morning. First of all, I would say that I didn't grant any interview.
Okay.
I don't know why the person that wrote that quoted me. However, I've always been outspoken whenever I have something to say.
Mm-hmm. As is your right.
And I believe in what is just, you know. And I think anybody that is aware of how things are run, especially in the glass house, NFL, know that you cannot just come out and say that they should dissolve the committee or the NFF and whatever. There's a process. They are elected. So that is one. And two, you cannot be against a coach that has not even started working. You know, football is a result game. We can analyze and judge him when they start playing matches. Then we can voice out our opinion if we're happy with him or not. But the man has not even played one game. It's not in my place to say who they should employ or who they should not employ. They have people that is their duty, you know, to do that. And sometimes we have to let them do their work, you know. So we all have our take when it comes to football, because it's the game that made us. But I want to appeal to all these people writing this thing. If you want to talk to me, you can call me and talk to me, and not just go out there and quote me. We might have similar opinion in certain things, but let it come from me. Yeah. So that's my take from it at the moment.
Wait, JJ, are you saying that story is totally false?
Yes, it is. Because
Wow.
where did I speak? I've not even spoken to Kano this year. To start with, you know.
Wow.
So it is false.
So at no time...
There's another thing that is going on that I built 100 bungalows in Enugu, which is good, but I don't have that kind of money. If I have it, I will. But you know, that's also false.
but JJ, me I hear say that 50 bungalow shop, but that's another story entirely. No, but I'm genuinely shocked because, you know, when the story broke, we're actually having to and fro and everything.
Oh, definitely. But you see, I'm close to Guzo. I'm close to Victor. I'm close to Garuba. I'm close to Iguazu and whatever. And being a football person, if I have anything to say,
You can pick up
I
the
will
phone.
first of all reach out exactly and call them. I will reach out to them. You know, I don't have to communicate them through press people. Then if they don't listen or whatever, or don't see value in what I'm saying, then if I decide to go public about it, then so it be. But honestly, I've not granted any interview to anybody.
All right.
I was going to ask you a question about the Super Eagles, because that's always the easiest place to start with you. You've been the skipper of the Super Eagles. You've gone to the World Cup with the Super Eagles. You've been there, done that.
Yeah.
The current state the Super Eagles are or is in terms of the World Cup qualification, what do you make of it? Do you think that the Eagles can qualify for the World Cup? And what do they need to do if they want to qualify?
Well, the beauty of football is that you can't write anybody else. You know, are we happy with our current situation? No. We always like to see our Super Eagles qualify. We are ahead of time, or at least be in a very good position. It's clear that we are not in a position whereby we can go to bed and say, that our qualification is guaranteed. So and because of that, none of us is happy as football fans. But of course, since there is still the chance for us to qualify, we have to leave our cards open and support them until they qualify or they miss out.
All right, JJ, considering where we are, and you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt and all that, if you look at our level of competition, away to Rwanda, home to Zimbabwe, home to Benin Republic, and then playing South Africa away, on paper, don't you think that we should be able to take at least a minimum of 10 points from those games? What's your thinking? As someone that's actually been on those journeys and played in such places, do you think that the Eagles can...
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. I mean, I still believe that on a good day we can challenge anything in the world, not just here in Africa. But we know also that the gap have been bridged. You have to play your game first before you start thinking of it being an easy game or a difficult game. So we maybe we always play better when we are under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we play as if we need a wake-up call. So knowing fully well what our position is now and knowing what we have to do, I still believe that the team can still qualify.
Okay.
But of course, there's no easy game anymore.
All right. There's a question here for you from Jimmy Kokomiko, right? He's asking about set piece taking. Back in the day, you were one of our best set piece takers. Now he's asking, have you offered your help in terms of the Super Eagles in improving our set piece, free kicks and all? Have you offered or have you been approached by the Nigerian Football Federation? Since a lot of those in the technical committee are friends of yours.
Well, I've never been approached. I was with the team during the last Nations Cup. I contributed a little to what I think was a successful outing, But, I mean, you can't go there and take people's job. You can't force yourself in there. If they feel that there's a need for you to come and play, why not? Especially if you have the time.
Okay, I'm going to take you away from Nigeria football story and talk about something you granted an interview. This was Football Focus, I think with the BBC. And I listened to that interview. One thing you mentioned was there was no dressing room in the training pitch when you first moved to Bolton. I was a bit surprised. How did you manage all that, knowing that going into England, you thought, everything was going to be there, all the facilities and every other good stuff that comes with playing for a top club in the Premier League?
Well, I think I was shocked when I got there and saw that our changing room was a cabin, But also, that was, one of the things that inspired me to try and make a change here, And at the end of the day, before I left, we built a proper training ground, proper dressing room, and that's for me leaving your legacy. Bringing change in a place that they believe that maybe that change was not near or was not going to happen. And I think it's all about your desire to succeed. Football is all about your desire. If you're a football person and wherever you find yourself, you try to be the best that you can be. You try to overlook certain things. even during our time, even me here, I would not say that I was a perfect player or whatever. I had my flaws as well, But the thing is that you should be able to identify what you're good at, your strength, and work on your weaknesses, to become a better you. And that was exactly what we did at Bolton, to try and work on the club's lapses and change the face of the club. And at the end of the day, I think we did a good job.
You spoke about legacy, and I'm going to switch from footballer now to administrator. As the administrator in Delta State, what would you say your legacy was with the Delta administration of your term?
Oh, I failed woefully, to be honest. I didn't even complete my tenure. And
brutal honesty.
I'm not the type that will try to blame anybody or whatever. What I saw there wasn't what I expected. The place wasn't conducive for me to work. The people I was with, they had different opinions. And the best thing for me to do was to walk away, which I did, So I will be the first to raise my hands and say that, I didn't achieve anything as a Delta State football chairman.
Yeah. But the lessons you picked from it, are you willing to come back into football administration in the near future?
Well, if I have to, a lot of things must be in place, because I don't think that the structure will allow people like us to succeed. And that's the honest truth. You don't have to. Let's be honest. The level of corruption in our country, in every sector, is too much. And if you're around people that always have motive, or always have their personal interest,
hidden agenda.
So it won't work.
All right, Jay Jay. Let's take something that you were hugely successful at after your brilliant playing career. An analyst on SuperSport. Yeah. Two things. One, you must join us on the set of Monday Night Football sooner than later. Anytime you're in Lagos. I beg.
So my colleague is there, please.
No, what I mean, as a guest, to come and join us, I know.
As a guest.
As a guest.
Oh, why not?
So
why
I beg. So I'm issued that public invitation.
No problem. My brother, it's always good to share your knowledge with people. And that was why I started going to SuperSport to analyze matches for them. It was just, for me, it was a platform for me to share my football knowledge. And that's all. And whenever I have the opportunity to do that, why not?
I beg. We want you to come around. You hear me tackle Victor because he's very stubborn. Then, secondly, among all the clubs you played for, the big clubs, Eintracht Frankfurt, Fenerbahce, PSG, Bolton, Hull, which is the club that is closest to your heart? I know you're very close to Fenerbahce. I know because we had that conversation. But which one do you hold closest and dearest and nearest to your heart? Where you have the fondest?
I would say, funny enough, I would say Bolton.
Really?
Yeah, I would say Bolton because Bolton, before I signed for Bolton had never played 2 seasons in a row in the Premier League. And we managed to play Europa Cup.
Yeah.
After a few years. So for me, the way I was accepted, because then I had my family as well, so the way we felt at home at Bolton was something that I'll always cherish.
Wow.
And it was also easier for us to communicate. It was also easier for my family to adapt. to the place. So yeah, I would say Bolton. Of course, I had fantastic time wherever I played because I played from my heart.
Mm.
You know, because one thing I always say to myself is that make sure that you leave the door open for the next Nigerian or next African that is coming to the club. You know, so you always give your best. You know, and not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. You know, so I was cautious of me being a good servant.
Okay.
The Ronaldinho question every time comes up, and people can't help but ask the question. So maybe I should even get another perspective from you. What was your relationship like with him while you were both at PSG? Because many said you taught him some of his tricks. Is that true?
Well, I don't know about teaching him tricks, but of course, if you have a similar background, sometimes you do things in training that you don't even know that someone is emulating, you know. So, but we had a very good relationship. We still have a good relationship because PSG was his first club out of Brazil.
Yes.
And if I can remember, he was like 20. So I could see also my humble beginning in Europe in him.
You could empathize with him.
Whereby, yeah, he was struggling a bit to adapt. He couldn't speak the language. No, he wasn't really playing and all that. So I took him, I called him, I was talking to him, I was advising him. And later, because my advice worked, you know, it was as if I was the one that mentored him and all that. But no, his talent was obvious for everybody to see. And maybe he picked one or two things from me, and I can also say that, I was admiring his talent.
I just want to ask you, since you mentioned mentoring, Alex Iwobi. Now, you are related, and there's a lot of stories around Alex Iwobi in the national team. With all the criticism he suffered after the last Africa Cup of Nations, were you able to talk to him, mentor him? Do you still advise him generally on football matters?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Alex is my nephew, and Alex is family. Once in a while we talk, but then the most important thing is to leave him to be his own man, you know. And I'm so happy for him and the kind of attitude that he's got. He's got a very strong character, and I mean, it wasn't easy for him. It wasn't easy to face all the criticism that he faced, as if he was the only one that played the Nations Cup, you know. But I mean, sometimes the blame should not be only on the player, because sometimes coaches might be using you in the wrong position, and because of the kind of player you are, you want to give your best, even when you know that you're not comfortable playing in that position. You know, so we can see what is going on in Fulham now. You know how he's being used, and he's still the same player, and this is maybe a player that we were criticizing 12 months ago. So it's all about, sometimes it's all about knowing how to use your player, knowing how to get the best out of your player, and finding the right words, you know, to encourage him.
JJ, okay.
So, yeah, I'm very happy with him and his progress.
In fact, so are we, because he's integral to everything that Marco Silva does at Fulham. We're going to let you go soon, but finally, let's come back to Nigeria. What are your opinions? So, to set the record straight, what are your opinions of Eric Chelle, or Chelle as the case may be? How do you see his appointment, and were you disappointed that we didn't go for a domestic coach?
Oh, not at all. I mean, I'm not disappointed. You know, we must have done our homework before he was appointed. The last coach, or the last domestic coach that we appointed, he didn't even stay up to 4 months.
Those 2 games.
And it was also their decision to get rid of him. So it's still their decision to appoint whoever they feel is the best for the job. And for me, I think we should give him a chance. We should let him do his job, and then we can judge him. And football is straightforward. It's a result game. So if he gets us to the World Cup, all of us will be like he's the best thing that happened to us. If he doesn't, he will be the first person to be criticized as well. So let's just leave our cards open, support him. He's our national team coach now. We have to give him the best support that we can. We have to support not just in the NFF as well. And hopefully we will get the results that are needed to be at the World Cup. Because if we are at the World Cup, all of us will benefit from it. Like business as well will benefit from it. So we all praying, crossing our fingers that we will qualify. And I must say one thing as well. That's why maybe we are so passionate about it, and we show our anger if things are not going the right way, because we all know that we benefit from the national team doing well. Okay,
in closing, if Nigeria fails to qualify, who do we hold responsible in one line? If Nigeria fails, God forbid.
It's all of us now.
Okay.
It's all of us as Nigerians. It's all of us, because maybe when we are supposed to say something, we didn't say it. Or when we are supposed to react, we didn't react. So, it's all of us. But I would say God forbid.
God forbid. All right, JJ, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We hope to have you here in person and then join us on the set of Monday Night Football as a guest. You understand, to discuss everything football. All right? God bless you, my brother.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Skipper.
Right, take care. Bye. Flabbergasted that the story that caused so much, was it not on Friday that we were busy arguing to and fro? Was it Thursday, Friday? No, you won't say it was Friday.
It was Friday.
And it was all a lie. Wow. Anyway, Mr. Motoshow is always going on at us. We should always talk to the people there and all that. And I'm happy that I reached. I even thought when I reached out to him that it was going to let's, I knew contextually the narrative probably wouldn't be what it should have been. But to find out that the whole narrative is a lie is actually shocking. But a note of caution to there are no women it's gentlemen in the media, so I call it in the media. Kind of be more how do I put it? More dig deeper in your sourcing of stories and everything. Let's be more attributional. Let's not just be sensationalist. I
like what he said though about number one, giving a coach a chance. No matter who, because at the end of the day, the end justifies the means.
Exactly, yeah.
I like the fact that he also mentioned that, look, if anything goes wrong, the coach is the one to blame. Right? And this is important because you and I have gone back and forth on this matter, and we probably will go back and forth again before the end of this show about a coach is tasked with the responsibility of getting results. And if results, because football is a result business, I've always said it. If results don't come in, he takes the first blame. Because you can't sack all the players. It's like Super Eagles, you cannot chase all of them out. With me, you can sit down here and complain about foreign players. They don't give 100, they don't give 200. But the new manager that comes in will still call majority of his squad from that place. So I think that, look, we really...
Hopefully not, but...
Hopefully, yes. And I also like what he said.
There's some ball boys you shouldn't call.
I also like what he said because, again, it comes down to the system. We can sit here and blame Pacero for where he played Osimhen from morning to night. But did that system get...
For where he played Iwobi.
For where he played Iwobi, sorry. But where did Osimhen carry the team to where he was playing? He played and we got to the final with Osimhen playing as a deep line playmaker. Iwobi, sorry, not Osimhen. Osimhen just skipped. Iwobi as a deep line playmaker. So, I'm even disappointed in Nigerians that, look, we got to the final. If we did not get to a final now, where we got bumped out, maybe in the quarterfinal or maybe in the second round, we got to the final. Losing in the final, for me, when you lose in the final, and it's like saying France. Will anybody abuse France for losing the World Cup final? No.
They lost, didn't they? But we got to the final. We didn't play.
But France got smashed early on in that final. It took them until second half was
but they got to penalties. Whether they got smashed or not, they got to. But as I said, that's a different argument.
We lost 2-1 now. 2-1 goal.
Sorry?
Now 2-1 we lose now.
No.
This is the final. 2-1 will be bad now.
We didn't play that final. But as I said, let's agree to disagree. What impressed me the most was everybody has used this as a sword over his head, Oh, he failed in Delta. And what did he say? Oh, he didn't succeed in Delta.
Oh, yeah, he owned up to it.
He said, and as I said, and true, that's what Pastor Itoa Ighodalo said in his sermon yesterday.
Wow. And God for church you went to.
Yes, it's true. And I've always felt that because you failed in one, in fact, failure at times is the best, because failure is part of experience. Because that failure is, by God's grace, all our failures are part of yesterday. We can now use I've failed at many things, but I've learned from my bitter experiences. If I sit down here,
your progressives don't think you failed at anything.
Oh, I failed.
Your progressives say you've never failed at anything. When I read your message, your progressives say you're the best thing to have happened to sports. That's what your progressives say.
But read the message now. You don't. Why don't select?
I will never read those messages. Why would I read where your progressives are praying you?
How? Sent a message that you guys didn't read it, but it's okay.
What Courage is saying today is that this social media share. What about Ikpeba's alleged reaction? Is it fake too?
They're probably fake as well, because I know how close. I've been in several fora where Victor and Jay Jay are, and they don't speak English; they speak French to each other. They're close now. These guys go go back.
How do you know? How do you know they're not abusing you?
I don't. I'm busy sitting there smiling. Hey, what's my? The very fact I'm in that forum, I'm happy. Let them abuse me. I'm happy to be abused.
It be like what did him? The Jones guy did to Novak Djokovic. He thought that the Serbian fans will not understand English.
Can you imagine?
When he was abusing Djokovic?
That was disrespectful. That's the word. Disrespectful with the capital T. So what do our listeners think?
Okay, they think a lot. So let's just start off with some of your messages coming in this morning. Greetings to the Olowa Dugbo in the studio. He knows himself.
That's Femi.
Can never be me. Can never be me. Can never be me. Chuksovia can never be me.
That's There's only one Olowa. Because you and the Chuks used to live the same at Dugbo.
No. Chuks wants to live on the island, but he doesn't have the money to live on the island. There's only one person in the studio now that lives on the island.
Okay, yeah, because that's true. Charles lives on the mainland. Just accept it.
Val from Aguda says, please, where is Ahmad? Uncle Shegun is so humble. Another message here goes Sanchez from Ibadan. Kudos to Mr. Oyakpata and the Nigerian Cricket Federation team for their outstanding work in revitalizing Nigeria's cricket scene.
Fantastic.
It's commendable that they've been able to turn things around, especially considering the challenges left behind by the previous administration. I'm not mentioning him. I know. My only regret is that he wasn't the president when I was still active. We would tweak our constitution to allow him a third term. Talking about cricket. Okay.
Who sent that message?
Sanchez from Ibadan.
Oh, Sanchez, okay.
Good morning, Sports Zone. I don't know if anyone will support Amorim's tactics. It's a disaster. United cannot progress with that. How can you play 7 defenders and 3 forward? The guy needs to wake up. This is EPL. His tactics has never worked and may not work. Take away Diallo's goal and assist. He has 0 points. The difference between United players and Division 4 players is their wages. These players are embarrassment to the club. Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian, I agree with you. Although I would say played 7 defenders. Well, I get what you mean, though.
3-4-3.
The wing backs.
Yeah, 3-4-3.
The challenge with United system, I'll be honest with you, is when Dalot first things first is right-footed. He always inverts. You never ever get any space. He will never penetrate on the left because he can't get beyond. He can't get beyond his fullback. He just can't. He will always cut in, which makes it so much easier. Same with Mazroy, who had a simply dreadful game yesterday. But one thing, I tell you what, Brighton is a very decent side, but if there's anything that Man United lacks, is what I'll call P and P. You know, P and P are pace and power. United has the most unathletic players in the league. They can't run. They don't have. Look at Brighton. Look at Belieber.
I'm trying my best so much. I totally disagree with you.
Well, and this is
the first 45 minutes. The players did their work.
Well, and then what happens?
And first 45 minutes.
No. Then let me finish, Femi. And then at the end of the day, yes, you can blame Amorim for his tactics and everything, but you cannot legislate. Look at the goal they conceded in 3 minutes. Who does that at home? You keep on conceding.
Even the best concede.
Mashuari just lost. He lost track of his man. And
but United pressed. United pressed for their equalizer.
Yes, they did. Okay, they did.
And to be fair, Bruno played very well.
Then what happens in the second half when they went to sleep? Look at that cross. When I saw that cross actor and Onana first came out, then he now stayed rooted on the side. He could have come out to claim that cross. Then once again, by snuck in on Mazraoui's blindside. I put the ball in there. Then for the third goal, even though Onana lost the ball, how come none of United's defenders were able to think that, okay, keeper don't, there's called anticipation. Keeper don't drop ball. Let me even come behind him to clear the ball off the line.
It's the manager's fault.
It's the manager's fault. Thank you. All right.
Good morning, gentlemen. I think if Manchester United wants to get it right and on track again, they must sacrifice Onana. He just have to go, or else they will continue to fall.
I agree with you 100%.
Onana is the problem. Have a pleasant day. I don't agree with you. I think that's, for me again, I think that's you're just picking one player. Because United considered 3 goals. One is Onana, agreed. The other one is Onana.
You should have come for that cross too.
I know. Okay. In Amorim, we trust Owen from Finland.
Thank you, Owen. God bless you.
Okay, wanted to ask something about his boots. There was no time about the. I saw JJ play against Egypt and Zimbabwe at the National Stadium in the 90s. You saw him play in the 90s? Okay. Wearing a red boot. He wore red boots those days. Yeah, I was talking about it. Good morning, Sports Zone. I love JJ's brutal honesty. Not many people would admit they failed and did not do well as an administrator. We are yet to find a very good replacement for him since he left the Super Eagles. Aisha Atilola.
JJ, this type comes along once in
a
generation.
Yes. Good to hear JJ's voice this morning. I'm very happy he refuted that report because I know him so well to be a calm man and not controversial in any way. Emba's exit was expected, and that shows how poor our league is. The coefficient isn't in our favor anymore, and it's a big shame on a footballing nation like Nigeria. For the weekend EPL matches, my consolation after disappointment from my darling Arsenal was seeing Manchester United losing to Brighton yesterday, and I can't wait to hear Shegzi do his normal thing on the players and management. I know he's doing well with Forest. Demal Lookman is also doing well. Victor Osimhen has never dropped the bar. I was glad to see Paulo Onuachu score a goal yesterday, and I wish these guys can bring in this form to the Super Eagles in March and let's qualify for the next World Cup. Good morning, everyone, the studio and listeners across the world. I'm Stunt from Mero.
Stunt. I always love your messages. Thank you.
This here says good morning.
Apart from the fact that you were happy to see us lose yesterday.
Certainly, I wanted to know if JJ will consider coaching later on in his life. Okay. Mohamed Diallo from Namampala, Mozambique goes, good morning to everyone at the studio. Greetings to the legendary Jay Jay Okocha. Personally, I think the Nigerian league clubs should consider hiring foreign managers, whether European, South America, or the African countries, because I believe the local Nigerian coaches have not really upgraded the style of play or tactics, because the Nigerian clubs have been very bad playing other teams from the CAF competitions and not going far.
Well, that's the point. We really have no voice in this matter. I mean, it says. I mean, I said on Monday Night Football last week that we're not going to that beating to Zamalek was virtually impossible. I talk man, it's come to pass. I'm not surprised.
All right, let's go to phone calls now. It's 9 o'clock, so start calls. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Val.
Morning, Val. How are you? Happy New Year. We spoke with this year. What's going on?
Great. Good one. Good to hear your voice. It's been a while, and I thank God that you have performed all the information and other things that we will hear. I want to speak now more often. I think I've been waiting once in a while for you guys to know that I'm having him on the Monday show. What of it? Therefore, I think I didn't really expect much because I feel that we are going to get the match. So, what I really feel or not erroneous, I think that that's the way to follow that. When that match, they really see that it is like to control, not the kind of stuff. Because they let us play and we provide the premiership, we don't go to the left here we're going to because the bottom line is our problems are players. Our problems are treated our players. All these guys, in a social era, they need to be good, but players also contributed. This man fighting good, players also contributed, and now they are seeing it. So let us play the survive and see how it will go for him.
All right, Val. Thank you, Val. So you went too clear, but we get the gist of your.
Yes.
It was kind of hollow.
Yes.
It's like you were standing in a tunnel.
Felt like he was in the toilet or something.
Yeah. Or hiding away in the bathroom. Okay. I get
And
it.
it's easy. Manager should change his style. If one style is not working, change your style.
Okay. Let's change the freaking players, man.
You cannot change all of them this transfer
but
window.
he has to get some of them out.
Is he going to keep losing?
No, well, what's he going to do? What's he going
Change
to do?
his style.
No, change his style to what? Was Ten Hag they only don't have style.
Okay, you should continue this style.
No, attack and defend now.
You should continue this style like this.
Counter-attack. What was Ten Hag's style? What was Ole's style? Did they succeed in it? No.
Yes, they did.
What? With what?
Only got to a final.
They got to a final.
A European
now.
final, yes.
A European final now.
Yes.
And won what? At least 10
Oh, now he said, what did he do with it? He asked me. I told you what he did. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Femi. Thank you so much for the gift of Okocha this morning. I was pleasantly surprised. I was still mourning over the voice of Okusheku, how solemn he was sounding and sounding so sanctimonious.
We have humbled him. But someone that we have humbled him this morning in the studio.
No.
He's humble.
I'm telling you.
He has been begging me since before we entered the studio.
Now the coach is bad. We will remind you, Okusheku, when you will say the coach, but Amorim.
No, he said the coach is good.
I said the coach is good. I stand with Amorim to the bitter end.
Uncle Chagu, the one thing that was very disturbing for me, was those little ones around me saying, "Can't we watch something else?" I was like, okay, I'm not watching something else. I'm watching your United.
That's child abuse. Jimmy, that's in fact, that's child abuse. My children wanted to watch something and you forced them to watch that boring, dreadful game. Ikanye, you are very wicked.
And Femi, I so much appreciate the question that you pick up regarding how they should pull in Okocha, although I sent the question.
Yes, it was you.
I think this is what we need to do. Like, we need to make use of our people. In that dead ball situation, we have not been very, very threatening ever since Okocha left, except 1 or 2 times that Ekong can take some, free kicks and there. But I think it's something that we need to do. And having people around there too, I think it shouldn't be a big problem. Since it's like becoming an in team now, every team in Premiership, for example, have coaches for dead ball situations, corner kicks. So we can call somebody like Okocha, for example, take on few of our boys that has those little skills, Lukman, and others. That would not be a bad idea because it's going to be an added advantage, over our opponents if we are so deadly in those situations.
All right.
So thank you very, very much. Now, Kyle, they knows that Sports Zone is the blood life of the morning bell.
Of course, he knows that. He's always known. He's been in denial. It says he knows.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice week ahead.
All right, you too, there. God bless you. Quick one, with what Jimmy said, I don't know how practical it will be, but what I do know from these icons, guys, they're always with Super Eagles at these competitions. As JJ confirmed, he was in Cote d'Ivoire. I know for sure that Daniel Mokachi and Kano Nwankwo were in Egypt in 2019 because I saw them one-on-one. So they're there on ground with the team, you understand, inspiring them. But for them to coach them on the field, I don't know.
You can't do that because you can't. That's not his job. You're taking, like you said.
Do you understand? They have a coaching crew, so that's why I said I don't know how practicable that would be.
Okay.